Okay, so for starting in ConsistentCharacters.AI, and I'm just dropping my prompt in and generating my first character, which I wasn't a fan of. So I clicked on the fixed character button, I turned it off and added some more details. I played around with it just to get some different variations of characters, and once I found the one I wanted, I clicked on that fixed character button again, and that turned it back to orange. And now I'm just going to play around with the character that I like. I want to play around with the different angles, the different facial expressions, the different clothing, you name it. I'm going to play around with it. So I also, if I didn't mention before, I got my storyboard from Chat GPT. So I'm just going back and forth trying to make sure that I capture everything that's on my storyboard that will match my book when I go over and bring it to Canva. Okay, so when you're in Canva, just click on the video option, and I use the landscape. And what I'm going to do right now is quickly just show you how to make your backgrounds. What I want to do is I got my storyboard from ChatGPT, and I asked Chat, what should a background look for this scene. I took that description and then I typed it into the Magic Media area in Canva, and it produced different backgrounds that I could play around with for my story. All you have to do is click on which one that you like, and it will automatically upload it to your library. So you don't have to, resave them or anything like that. They will automatically upload to your library as so. So once you follow your storyboard and you just keep repeating this process over and over again, you go to your storyboard, get the description of what the background should look like, go to Canva, click on Magic Media, and download the options that you like. If you don't like it, have it regenerate, and it will keep doing it over and over. Now on the unpaid version, you will be limited, I believe, to like 5 images per day. But if you can invest just a little bit of something, it's $12.99 per month for Canva on the professional level. Compared to these VO3, Kling, and all that is a discount. So go ahead and get the backgrounds so that you can move on to the next step. Once you have your backgrounds, now you can go in and build it scene by scene. Now for this slide, I'm building the rocket glowing and basically getting ready for liftoff. So what I'm doing is I put in the object, the rocket ship, and what I'm doing is I'm separating it from the base just in case I wanted to add movement to the rocket where it kind of lifts off, but I didn't do it in this one, but that's what I did. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to look for some type of fog to put at the bottom of the rocket, and that's what I'm searching for in the Elements tab. I found the different the fog that I like, and so what I did was I went over to Animate, and I'm just playing around with different animation functions. So it can either breathe or pulse or whatnot. And in my story, I have a glowing light behind the rocket ship, or the rocket ship is glowing. So also I look for a glowing orb to kind of pulsate. And that's what I did. I got the element that I was looking for. I layered it into my image. And all I'm doing is with the, when you go to the Animate tab, you're just playing with the different animation buttons to see what do you like the most. Do you want it to pulsate? Do you want it to zoom in? Do you want it to pan out? What type of image are you looking for? And so that's all it is to creating a little bit of movement in your images. So just to show you another option, so in the scene, I'm going to have Luna, my character, fly across the screen, right? So I put the background and I kind of overexpanded it. So just in case I want to have the background move, but in this case, I wanted just Luna to move. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna layer her in, and what I'm gonna do is go to Animate, and when you go to Animate, there's going to be an option that will allow you to draw and drag your character in a motion of how you want her to go. So for example, that's what I'm doing with my mouse. I said I wanted her to do a loop-de-loop. So that's what I did, and that's how you get her to move across the screen. So after that, once you do that to all your scenes, you just go ahead and insert your text. You can play around with the font and the outlines and things like that. But this is just for an example. This story is not going to be published or anything like that. But this is just something that chat gave me real quick. But you type in your text. You can animate it also, just by clicking the animate button, and it will give you the different options of how the text can come across the screen. That is, of course, your choice, but you do that for all of your scenes as well. And then we can move on to the final step. Now, for the final step, you're adding a voiceover. Now, this can be AI voiceover that Canva offers. It's pretty limited with the voice options, but it is an option. Or you can do your own voiceover, or you can go to 11 Labs and pay that memberships where you can have hundreds of different voice options. But all you will do is type your book text into the box and click on whatever AI voice that you want, if you are going to choose an AI voice, and it will, of course, read it out loud in that voice. At the end of this video, I'll show you an example of how this came out, but that is pretty much it. You would do this for every scene, copy the text in, generate the voice, and move on to the next scene. And this AI voice is going to be found under, it's very simple, AI voice. And once you're done with the whole story, your mini animated sort of book will come out as so.
Luna's Space Adventure. Meet Luna, a brave girl with a big dream. She always wanted to visit the stars. One night, her spaceship blinked to life. With a deep breath, Luna blasted off into space. She zoomed past glowing planets and dancing comets. Suddenly, she spotted a sparkly purple planet. Luna landed and met a friendly alien named Zorp. Together, they explored magical rivers and floating flowers. But soon, it was time to go home. Luna waved goodbye, promising to return one day. The end, or is it?